Governor Tim Walz has mobilized the state's National Guard to help with safety around a federal building in Minneapolis. Let's bring in former NYPD detective and current professor of law at New York Law School, Kirk Burkhalter. Kirk, always great to see you. Welcome back, sir.
Same here. Good morning.
Good morning. From a local law enforcement standpoint, what does having the National Guard activated mean for police and sheriff deputies when it comes to their day-to-day jobs?
Well, it's very interesting. While at first blush, this may seem like an action that is likely to help and quell things. However, what do we have here? We have one more agency that is in the mix here with regards to law enforcement. And keep in mind, as far as the National Guard is concerned, similar to other military organizations and even ICE and the Border Patrol, they are not trained for this mission. So it really depends on what their directive is. What is their mission? It would seem the primary mission here at this particular point in time is to keep the peace between the civilian population and the federal authorities, being mindful that the federal authorities, as far as ICE, the Border Patrol, they're not going anywhere at this point, given what the president has said, and they're not obligated to heed the request of local political officials. So, you know, only time will tell what will happen with this move.
This shooting took place at a public protest, as you well know. What will investigators want to hear from witnesses and observers who were on the scene?
Well, that's a bit of a loaded question because perhaps a year ago, if you asked me what would investigators want to hear, I would think about it from a more objective standpoint. But what we're seeing here is it depends on who the investigators are. The normal operating procedure would be to scrub every piece of video that's available, to interview persons on the scene. We've heard various comments as to why the decedent was at the scene, but we really don't know why. So certainly one thing investigators would want to know is why he was at the scene, what his intentions were as far as what he expressed. And this also includes interviewing and all of the law enforcement officials that were present. What did they see? When did they see it? In particular, when did they see the firearm? What made them feel threatened, and so forth. So investigators will have to comb through a great deal of information. Our hope is that it will be an objective investigation.
Kirk, from your law enforcement perspective, what are the biggest questions you have right now?
Biggest question I have at this time was from one of those particular videos, when did law enforcement see the weapon, and was the weapon recovered prior to or after the shots being fired? I mean, at this point, that's kind of the whole ball of wax, because if it was recovered prior to the shots being fired, then clearly this would have been excessive force unless there was some form of reasonable mistake. If it was recovered after the shots were fired, then perhaps the law enforcement officers could express that they feared for their lives. That's the biggest question here right now.
The Department of Homeland Security says Pretti approached them with a handgun. He resisted when federal officers tried to disarm him. But there are so many reports, multiple reports, disputing that account. Talk about the importance of the gun as this investigation moves forward.
Well, these statements seem to be a bit premature in that the investigation has not been thoroughly conducted. Yes, the gun is very important. I'm always a little disturbed, and not just here, but broadly speaking, when law enforcement releases a photo of a gun somewhere that clearly shows, or perhaps shows, that it has yet to be entered into evidence. You know, I want to see that gun with a tag, and I want to be able to know where it was recovered from. So the reports are that he possessed this firearm legally. What's important about the gun is whether or not he removed it from his person, whether he brandished it in some shape or form.
A lawsuit by county officials in Minnesota is seeking to prevent the destruction of evidence related to this fatal shooting. It has been temporarily granted by a federal judge. I asked you from a law enforcement point of view, now as a law professor, how do you expect this ruling to impact what we learned in this investigation thus far, Kirk?
Well, it's a very important ruling given the incident with Renee Good. And we recall the agents were left the scene. And to this date, as far as my knowledge is concerned, we haven't seen an objective investigation and a collection. And if there has been a collection of forensic data from the scene, it hasn't been released. So this is extremely important because there's a high likelihood, if there was some improper behavior, enough where there is certainly some type of lower threshold, the state may bring charges against the Border Patrol agents who fired their weapons. What will happen with that, we don't know, whether that would even proceed all the way through to trial or whatever the case. But here, that's at least likely given this court ruling.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.